Hello, everyone. I'm Rachel Tessman from StampYourArtOut.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Andover, Minnesota in the US, and I'm here to bring you a live paper crafting class here on YouTube. It is Wednesday, December 10th, 2025, as I'm coming to you live, and we're going to feature a fun fold today. This is a fold that I put together for a team event last month, and I finally have the chance to share it with you. I'm very excited. We're going to feature the Hobby Haven suite of products by Stampin' Up! These products, when you hear about a suite or a suite collection, that means that the products are designed to work together. So typically you get in a suite a stamp set, coordinating dies, designer paper, and then embellishments. And so we're going to be using the paper, the stamp set, and the dies today. And we're going to bring in a few different embellishments because I like a little sparkle. And it's fun to see you guys chime in and say hello. So thank you so much. I want to introduce to you Trisha Joseph. She's my moderator here on YouTube so that we can have questions answered as the live progresses, because I am one to get very distracted if I read every single comment during the live. I can see them here on my screen. I can see them on my computer. And I loved reading them before we started the live. That's the joy of YouTube lives. Like, it's wonderful because you can click on the link before the live begins and you can already start commenting away. And today I would have commented back, but I am fighting a cold. We've got some kind of bug floating around in our house here. I don't know. It wasn't bad until yesterday. I thought it was going away. And yesterday was really strong for me and my husband. And so I don't know. I didn't get as much done as I wanted to. So you may have even not noticed or noticed that I didn't have the link to the live ready until this morning, like maybe a couple hours before. And that's because I was rushing. But good morning to all of you. Good afternoon to some of you, and good evening to some of you, depending on where you're watching from around the world. We are going to start with the PDF, okay? Because I'm forgetting to share that often in the beginning of my video. This will give you a preview to the cards that I'm going to share. I'm actually going to do a 5th version because this pack of paper has 5 different really cool patterns in it. And then the 6th paper, because we usually have with a 12 by 12 pack of paper, you get typically 6 double-sided sheets. So you get 12 sheets, but 6 are double-sided, right? And so, sorry, 2 of each, double-sided. And then, but this time they've taken the last 2 sheets, so the 5th and 6th of the sets, and they've turned them into ephemera or little images that you can punch out. And so we're going to be incorporating that into the cards. But the other 5 designs are really similar to each other, but they have different images. And so I've completed 4 cards with 4 of the designs, and we're going to work on the 5th one. Okay, and thank you, Trisha. She reminded us that if you can give the thumbs up, that would be great. That helps boost things on YouTube, allows me to be seen more. Giving the thumbs up, liking. Please click to subscribe to my channel as well. I would love that. All right, let's move over to the PDF. This is something that you're going to be able to access. I'll add it to the description of the video later today, but again, I'm behind because fighting a cold. Constantly sneezing. Hopefully you can't hear it in my voice too much. I've drank a lot of liquid today. But this is the PDF. And if you peek here, I'm going to just kind of scoot this down so you can see a little bit. But there's the title and the date. Oh, great. Now we're in a totally different screen. I'm going to scoot this over here so I can move back. There we go. But the title and the date is at the very top left corner of the PDF. This will help you if you print it off or you download it and save it to your computer. This will help you organize your PDFs. And so you know where to come back to find that blog post or the YouTube video. So pretty much 100% of my videos are connected to a blog post and vice versa. So if you're looking for the date, it's typically the same date on my YouTube channel as it is on my blog. So what's my website? Sorry, there it is. StampYourArtOut@Comcast. I'm sorry, that's my email. StampYourArtOut.com is my blog. So if you'd like to visit, you certainly can. I'll bring you over there later on at the end of the video to talk about promotions that are going on. But again, check out what else is on this 1-page PDF. I try to make it just 1 page so that you don't have to try to like print off tons of things, right? Because the more pages, double, triple, right? It's a lot to save. So this way your binder stays thin. It does include the measurements, it includes the supplies, and all the supplies are clickable if you leave them on your computer or device so that you can access them digitally that way. And then you can see the pictures of the cards. I'm calling this a Vellum window stretch Z-fold card. Okay, it's a type of Z-fold, but it's long because it's made with multiple parts, but it folds like a Z-fold, and then there's a vellum window aspect to it. So let's move to the desktop. I love this. You guys are sharing about the weather. I think Karen's up north at her cabin. She's saying that she's sitting with a warm drink and she's cozy. I love it, you guys. Keep sharing. I love reading these. All right, so let's get started with the taking a peek at the products. So I'm going to scoot some things out of the way because again, I'm rolling in a little late today with being ready. All right, let's take a peek at this paper. And this paper, forgive me, is not organized very neatly right now because again, that was the last thing on my mind. But you can see, let's see if we can sort through this. So here's the image, the one of the 6 styles of papers, and again, you get 2 of each, so 12 altogether. But this is the designer paper that has the luxurious, comfortable chairs and plants on it. And then we have one that has sewing. So for the hobbyist that loves to do material, fabric, that kind of craft, we've got images for sewing and embroidery and quilting kind of images, that kind of thing. Then we have, for the hobbyist that loves books, we have, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't share the other side of that. Hang on. Because the other side is important in this card because you're going to see it. And here we have the books and the opposite side of that. And then we have this one here that looks like a spa. So if your hobby is going to the spa, we have like lotions and citrus and, oh gosh, brushes and soaps and just kind of fun things there. And there's the flip side. And the last of the 5 designs has baking images. So there we have. I don't know what that first hobby is. Maybe it's like planting, you know, like if you are, because I keep looking at this going, what is the hobby here? Is it relaxing? But it's probably taking care of houseplants. That's probably what it is. And then we have the baking one, which is so appropriate for now because a lot of us are baking for the holidays. And so I thought I would use this image or this sheet for the main paper in this design. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to find that one. Oh, and then here's the back. Okay, here's the back. These are like the little ephemera pieces that come with it that you can punch out, and they're kind of hard to see because I've punched a lot of them out, but there we go. And then let's take the baking one. In fact, I've already cut my piece down, so we'll just move this off to the side. And for this, I think I've even picked out my ephemera. There's a whole bunch of pieces in here. There's plants, there's sewing machines, there's cameras, there's painting easels, paintbrushes, a little blend, like a mixer, some more plants on a shelf, books, cups of coffee or a coffee maker. So lots of fun stuff. Then for the bundle, so I told you it comes with stamps and dies. We have the Creative Haven stamp set and the coordinating dies, Creative Haven dies, okay? And so here are the dies. I've got them on my Stamp and Storage magnet sheet. And then in here, I have my images. And I've printed this off myself by inking this up, stamping it down onto a piece of coordinating size white cardstock. I just inked it with like smoky slate ink, but I made my own little guide. Stampin' Up! Is transitioning into this new packaging, and so a lot of us are finding what works for us, and that's what works for me because I like to reline them up on the plastic sheets, between the plastic sheets, and have them in the same spots. But here are the dies, here are the stamps, that's what the images look like. We're only going to be using this one today. I do have some other cards to share with you at the end that's using this image here, and I love this. This is like a little sparkle image, so fun. So, and then for the dies, we'll be using the plant die on our card. Okay, so let's bring in what we need here to get started. We need our cardstock, which is early espresso. And we have our designer paper, which is 4 inches by 6. That helps us to make the most of our cardstock on paper. When you have 12 by 12 sheets of paper, if you can cut it into 4-inch by 6-inch pieces, you can get 6 from a sheet. So, I mean, you could certainly make this taller if you want to make it 4 1/4, but 4 inches isn't that far off from our typical 4 1/4 by 5.5-inch card size, right? So, you know what? I love, you guys are like mentioning things that this paper would be great for. This is like a super popular suite. I have seen lots of ideas. In fact, I'm just going to show this to you now. This is one of my favorite series of ideas that was shared by Janice Gilhooly, I think is how you say her name. So let me bring this over to the computer really quick. There we go. So if you're a scrapbooker, OMG, this paper would be perfect for scrapbooking, right? Because of all of our hobbies. So she's done some scrapbook pages with the Relax and Unwind she has for the title. I love it. All of these pages have a different look to them. Here's the next one, Handmade with Love. So she's got the sewing papers on there. And then she's got for the spa, it says Spa Day. Isn't this fun? I mean, just do like a Google search for Hobby Haven or Creative Haven, Stampin' Up, cards, scrapbook pages, whatever you want to search. This one says Coffee and Cake. And this one says Love to Read. So thank you so much for all the demonstrators who create and share their ideas out there. It is just amazing, all the inspiration you can get just from a Google or Pinterest search, right? Okay, so I'm going to do my first cut. Oh, and this paper here, this is the Vellum. We have Vellum. Vellum is back. It's the same size as, and I'm going to grab a Kleenex because I can feel my nose running. It's the same size as your designer paper, so 4 by 6. And I know a lot of you are saying, wait a minute, our cards are 5.5 inches. But remember what we're going to do. We're going to take and piece together papers so that we make this extended Z-fold card. So you want to start off with those sizes. We're going to cut the Vellum. And then we have some white, and this is just for the inside, for where we can write on the inside of our card. And we have a piece that can start off as 1 1/4 inches in this way, and then 4 inches in this way. So it's 1 1/4 by 4 of our earthenware, what's it called? Earthen toned metallic foil. And I've cut it into 3 strips. So I have an 1/8 inch strip, I have a 1/2 inch strip, and then I've got the extra left over, which is 5/8 of an inch. So those are already cut. We do need to cut the Vellum, and then I have images picked out for the focal points of our card. Although you could do, you know, like you could stamp some images from another set. The stamp set, again, does not have images that coordinate with the papers, as far as like, there's nothing like books or a mixer or things like that. But you get all that ephemera, so you have tons of things to choose from there. So let's bring in our trimmer. Where did our trimmer go? I think I put it away. So we will grab our trimmer and we're going to cut our base of our card. Our base of our card is going to be 5.5 by 4 inches. Not 4 1/4, but 4. It's a percolator. Thank you. I love it. All right. There we go. When I was saying coffee maker, it's a percolator. Love it. I don't drink coffee. So 4 inches by 5.5 is the base of our card. You can make 4 bases from 1 sheet. For the Vellum, we're going to cut it into 2 pieces. We're going to cut at 3.5 inches, which will leave us with 2.5 on the other side, as you can see. 2.5 inches is what that measures. So 3.5 and 2.5. We're going to set these pieces aside because we're going to use them a little bit later. We're going to start with our, oh, and we have to do one more thing. Sorry, I have to bring in the trimmer one more time because we have this wonderful little scoring blade on here, and the scoring blade allows us to put folds in certain places. Yay, some of you are making cards today. I love it, Tina. Okay, we're going to score at 1/2 inch. So on the right side, we're going to make a score line at 1/2 inch, and I'm using this side of my trimmer for that. So we'll score here, And then on the other side of our trimmer, and I better get my ruler out because I want to make sure I do this right, because I don't think I added the measurements for the score marks in our PDF. It is, 1 1/4. 1 1/4. So this actually is like the middle part of the Z fold, so it creates the Z. So we're gonna fold this part up, and we're gonna fold this part back. And there's our Z fold, but now we're gonna extend it by adding some pieces onto the ends of this. That's why you wanna have a really, really fun paper that you can see lots of images from. It has a lot of interest to it. If you have a paper that's more like just a bunch of stripes, it's not gonna be as spectacular on this kind of a card, but something that has lots of interest to it, like this paper, is just amazing for this. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take and add this 5/8 inch piece here to the left side, because we're making a landscape card. So we're gonna add it to the left side, and we can do that with just regular adhesive, glue, whatever you wanna use. I'm using my seal adhesive, but again, you could use your multi-purpose liquid glue. I love to use my multi-purpose liquid glue in my little holders like this, my precision tip bottle. Okay. All right, so now I'm gonna add this here, and this will just go right up to the edges as my nose is wanting to drip because I'm looking down. Wouldn't that be fun? Rachel's dripping nose on video. All right, next. Next, we're gonna take this 1/2 inch wide section, and we're gonna put adhesive on there and add it to this. Now, when you do that, my recommendation is to do it this way, but you do have to check to make sure that this looks aligned. So when we do it, just kind of put down a portion of it at a time. Oops, and I got a gooey there. Gotta love the adhesive eraser. This you can find in my favorite extras if you're looking for something to grab that glue. And let me zoom in. I'm gonna zoom in just a touch here so you can see a little closer. Okay, so I have my adhesive on the back side. We're gonna keep that folded like this, and we're gonna add that right here. But I'm just adding the left side first, and I'm peeking underneath, and it looks pretty good. It looks lined up. And then I'm gonna add this piece. Looks really good. Okay, awesome. So that means I cut pretty straight here. So we have a nice straight edge here. We have 1/8 of an inch showing of our foil paper there, and everything is lined up. And if it's not, because you can see a little bit more dark on the top here, we're just gonna shift it, and we're gonna bring in that bone folder and crease one more time. It'll help to reposition those broken fibers on the score. All right, so far it's looking more like a Z fold, right? The next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna add the vellum window section. And so for that, the first thing I'm gonna do is make this edge darker. If I add this now, it's going to be easier to see for my old eyes. So I'm gonna take my precision tip bottle, peel off any dried glue on the end of it, throw it in the trash or on my floor, and then I'm gonna come in and just add a small amount. So you could do your seal adhesive or any other kind of glue here, because this is just a regular paper, so you can do that. But I don't know if I would use glue on the front side of a foil sheet. So let's just put that against a dark background so we can see better, and I'm adding that in place. And I wanna look further in, but my nose is running. Okay, there we go. I think it's in place. Just throw some Wink of Stella on it. Wink of Stella will fix everything. If you have mistakes anywhere, just put Wink of Stella or a rhinestone, right, Debbie? I love it. Oh, Mary's baking cookies. Love it. Okay, so we have that on there, and it's making that edge darker, but it's something that we wanted there anyways, right? Because we're gonna have these little foil accents. We're gonna have 1/8 inch looking foil accents in 3 places. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add that, or lay it down right here, so that this edge lines up with the edge of our card. And so the top and bottom edges are flush. Okay, so let's leave that here. Let's take and, oh, I forgot one more thing. Hang on, we have to do this first. We have to add this on here. And to do that, I would put your adhesive here, and you have plenty of room for seal adhesive. Again, if you're going to put adhesive on top of foil, I would use more like a sticky tape because this is a glossy surface. And then you would just add it down. So let's go ahead and do that carefully. So we'll add just a thin strip. In fact, I'm going to use my Tear and Tape adhesive because I know that I'm going to stay straight and nice and narrow if I put my Tear and Tape adhesive here instead. Okay, that's wonderful and helps me to keep everything in line. I love Tear and Tape, you guys. You should get it if you don't have it. And we'll just fold over that extra stuff. It's like seal, only it rolls out like a tape. Okay, next. And let's just bring a dark background in again. We'll use this one. Actually, no, we want a light background for this. I think that'll be easier. So I'm going to step down on the left edge and stretch over to my right edge so that I have about 1/8 of an inch showing. And if I see any extra foil here, which I do, and just take my scissors and trim. And now we have 1/8 inch, 1/8 inch, 1/8 inch showing. Now we can do this part where we lay this down. This card is a really fast card to put together. So if you're still trying to put together some Christmas cards, there's some pretty Christmas papers out there already, but Traditions of Christmas would be perfect for this kind of a card. So now we just flap that down like that. See how easy that is? So really, it's these initial steps, and then the decoration of it doesn't take too long. But could you see some beautiful paper in here and maybe your photo of your family? Because that part's going to get covered up. And then you can have your sentiment on the front and just sign your name down here in this bottom right-hand corner. So you could make a really cool, fun fold Christmas card if you're still looking for Christmas card ideas. Because it's December, 10th today, right? So some of us might still be doing that. All right, now I've got my images, I've got my vellum paper, and I've got my white. If you're going to stamp on this, I would do this first. Do all of your stamping, all of your writing. That way, if you make a mistake, you can flip it over and do it again. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go ahead and show you the assembly process for this card. So you're going to put your adhesive on here, and then you're going to line this up so that it's in the window. The vellum in the window. It's in the vellum, centered in the vellum. This is our window. All right, so now I have a guide as to where I can put my adhesive on the back side of my vellum. I don't want to go beyond the white because adhesive shows through vellum. So we're just going to carefully put some more seal adhesive here. And we're going to bring this over about 1 inch from the edge of this foil. So I'm using my grid paper here. And I'm just going to count over about 4 squares. Or I could take out my ruler and lay it down. And that somewhat centers it. The other thing that I want to add, and I told you I was going to use that one die. So we're going to bring out a scrap. I have very little of this left, you guys. We're going to bring out a scrap of vellum. And look at, I hardly have any foil left too. I just love this stuff up. I have to get more. Okay, now we're going to bring in the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I'm going to zoom out a bit because it's going to look super huge right now. Okay. And I've got little Post-it flags here to help me out if I need to, but I think we can just trust where the die sits. So this is the little branch die that comes with the bundle, and that looks like a good fit right down in there. We'll lay our die between our 2 cutting plates and on top of our precision plate and our platform, and we're just cranking that handle to have the plates all guide through. Then we can take and pull this off. Oh, it's still on the vellum. There it is. So there's our really pretty vellum leaves. Let's move these over. Another thing that you could do if you don't want to use the images that are in the back of the paper pack, the ones that are all like ephemera-like, is you could take the, just grabbing my, so you could take and stamp this and die cut it with the banner flag here, or stamp this, die cut it with the oval, stamp that, cut it, see how it all coordinates. But you could stamp out one of the bigger sentiments from the bundle, and that could go on the front of your card. It would be really nice and large and pretty and stand out. So this branch, I think I'm going to tuck it under here somewhere, and I don't know if I want to tuck it high or low yet. So I'm going to first work on my images here. So I've got a mixer, a little hand mixer, and I've got a cupcake. And the hand mixer, I think I'll just add with regular seal adhesive here. And this is why double-sided paper comes in handy, because look at, you can still see that really pretty stuff on the back side of the designer paper. So it makes a difference on, you know, what you have on the other side in this kind of card. If you have just one-sided designer paper or pattern paper, it will still work. You're just going to have a white background here instead, right? So now I'm going to grab from my adhesive caddy my, oops, I want my regular dimensionals. So I'm going to grab one of those and stick it on the back side of my cupcake. And we'll just add that right here. And then I could take some scraps of white and I could make a little sentiment piece, and I'll show you the finished ones. But because I'm going to have my sentiment here, I'm going to put my leaves up here. And for that, I've found that just a glue dot is going to do the trick, and I'm running out of glue dots. Boy, Rachel, you're running out of a lot of things. You should take advantage of the sale that's happening right now. There's a sale? Yes. There is a free shipping sale happening right now, December 10th through December 12th. See how I just brought that up and tucked it in? And so if you have a qualifying order, and in the US, it's a $75 minimum order. So you place an order for Stampin' Up! Product of $75 or more, and you get free shipping. Yay! All right, so I have that on there, and I need some embellishments. So it looks like I need the foil, the vellum, some more glue dots. And I could even add Paper Pumpkin stuff that's on sale, because Paper Pumpkin, they've got some past kits and refills. In fact, there's a lot of past full kits. If there's a kit that you've missed out on, go shop the online store. How do we get there, Rachel? Okay, let me show you that really quick. I'm going to pull up this tab here. We're just going to take a quick detour. Okay, so this is my website, stampyourartout.com. If you are here, there's lots of ways to get to the online store. You can click on shop, go to online store. You can scroll, go to online store. If you're in the blog, along the side here, there's a shop online button. But either way, you're going to go to the online store. Or you can go to stampinup.com. If you're already a demonstrator, you know the link. And if you have customers, you can share your link with them, a personalized link, which will connect you to shopping with you, to shopping with you. But you can see here, oh, look at this. One of the banners floating across the top talks about 50% off. Up to 50% off on past kits, refills, and add-ons. And so you have to be an active subscriber. And just a recommendation, I'm going to go down here to Paper Pumpkin subscription, click on past kits. You can go there from that, or you can click on the banner. But I recommend that if you're going to take advantage of this sale as a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you wait till tomorrow, because again, the sale is December 10th through the 12th. Because that's when they're going to bring in one more set of dies, the dies that will coordinate with the January through March kits. So I'm putting in an order tomorrow. Let's go back for a minute and just check this out. Here's the free shipping information. Anything really that you can access in this online store, except subscriptions to Paper Pumpkin, can be counted in as your free shipping products, okay? So have fun shopping with that. Let's go back to the desktop because we need to finish this card. Let's bring in some other embellishments. The embellishments that I'm going to suggest for this, just because they have a little bit more sparkle, are the, I love these. I love these. Low profile sparkle dots. So they have sparkle, they're low profile, so they're not really high up, they're not bumpy in your cards. And gorgeous colors, hello, green, this is like my favorite. But then this is another great pack. It also has low profile embellishments in it. It is called the Pearls of Beauty. So you could use either one of these. As you can see, I've got my extras from previous packs floated into that. But I'm going to take the blue ones. I think I'm going to grab the blue ones here. And I'll just peel, let's use the Take Your Pick tool. I have more accuracy with placing them if I use the Take Your Pick tool. Yes, past full kits, Kelly. Really awesome. I was checking through it this morning as I was also getting ready for this live. And I'm like, wow, lots of full kits. But again, you know, it's while supplies last, so please shop early. If you need to wait for the dies tomorrow, just know that you might risk giving up some of the kits that are available now. Okay, so we're gonna take and push and lift and add a few little dots. I think I'll add, I think I'm gonna add, yeah, I'll add the sparkle dots over here. I'm picturing where my sentiment piece is gonna go, right there. And I'll do another one. And then I'll add one at the very top over here. And another one. Oh my goodness sakes, I don't have enough cushion on here. There we go. Maybe we'll just stick it right on the vellum because the vellum isn't holding down very well. It's kind of popping off my card. All right, so picture the sentiment here. And let's take a peek at the finished samples that I have for you. So here is the baking one, just in time for those of you who are baking for the holidays. And again, I would have a sentiment strip. Here's the spa one. The spa one has that really cool soapy looking wash on the back side. And that's how I put together that one. I stuck the vellum leaf down in the right corner here. And that one has the green sparkles from that same embellishment pack. And here's our sentiment strip. This is just a 1/2 inch by, I think, 2.5 inches. Let me bring in my ruler. Yep, 2.5 by 1/2 inch is what I used for that particular sentiment on all my cards. Same foil, same paper, same ephemera. That's from the pack of paper. The vellum leaves from any, like a punch or a die, right, Kelly? It's just, I don't know, there's something so delicate and pretty about them. You can, because we don't have vellum leaves out in nature, do we? But it's like, I don't know, it just brings a delicacy to leaves. Okay, here's the one with really fun paper that's kind of loud. So I softened it a bit by putting a banner from the ephemera here. But this one goes with the books hobby. And there's where I put the leaves, and the embellishments are the yellow ones. So I've now used the blue, the yellow, and the green from that pack. And then we have this other one. This is the first one I created, and it has the chairs and plants, but I did it with painting. So maybe somebody who likes to sit and paint along with a nice comfortable environment. I don't know. I just thought that that would go with that pretty well. And that's using, oh, I love the background on this one. Just a petal pink kind of grid. And then the background on this one is my favorite, the blue, gorgeous blue. That's why I wore this sweater today, to match this paper. But this is the one for the seamstress, the quilter, the embroiderer, okay? And for this one, I used that other pack of embellishments, this one here called the Pearls of Beauty, because it does have touches of that coral, that calypso coral, although this is really Cajun craze in here, but it's like a light version of it. And I don't know, calypso coral, Cajun craze, and petal pink, they work really well together if you haven't used them together. So you have petal pink and calypso coral colors in the paper, and so this is kind of an in-between. Plus it's kind of shiny in an iridescent way, so you see different reflections of colors. So those are the Hobby Haven ones that I've made. And then for our team event, I also had a pear one done. And funny, I had one done pretty much exactly the way V Tran, who a lot of you might know. She's also somebody who shares on social media, YouTube, that sort of thing. But she's in my group, and she did the same papers and the larger pair. And I had the smaller pair with the papers she used, and I switched out my papers so that I could have a different style to share. So she may have already shared this on social media, but we had the dark one back here. It's such a gorgeous print. And so I used the one with the petal pink background, and then I switched out my smaller pairs to the larger pair because I like that idea. Just kind of filled in the space more, but just gorgeous, gorgeous with this papers. If you agree, yes, I'm sure you do. Using the same embellishments. This time I used a ribbon over here and shoved that over a little bit more so that the ribbon kind of had, I don't know, a spotlight on the side here. You can see it closed and you can see it open. All right, I have 3 other cards to share with you. And Sorry, just got distracted by a comment. Somebody's telling someone else to fix something with a brown marker. Okay, so I have 3 cards to share with you, and these were inspired by a project that I didn't get done, but I tell my team this, when I go to Stampin' Up! Events, I am too social. Like, I can't sit and craft because I get distracted by conversations. I want to see who's there. I want to socialize. And so I love going to these make and take type of events at the conventions and all that. But I never get my project done. So people help me out. They throw things at me. They say, here, take this home. So I had people helping me at my table, giving me all the parts and pieces that I needed. I took it home and I finally did my own little version. This is the card that we were supposed to create there, but I like to have sparkles and not just stamped sparkles. So I added these holographic, I think they're called, let's see what they are, holographic resin dots. So it's really a simple card. I'm going to tell you the measurements on it. This is a bonus to watching the videos. You always get more in a video than you get on a blog post because you can get those tips and tricks and all that. But this is just a 4 1/4 by 11-inch piece of cardstock, and it's scored at 5.5. But the layer here is slightly different. The layer, and it could be bigger, but it's 4 by 5 instead of 4 by 5 1/4. So there's like a bigger border here and here, and I did put it on the base of my card with dimensionals on the 3 corners. These pieces come from the pack of designer paper. And then this is just that punched out designer paper, but using the back side. The back side that isn't really the A side, it's the B side, right? So kind of more subtle designs. Just use the punch. It's called the hexagon something or other punch. Hexagon something. I don't know. Here, maybe I can move this out of the way here and see what I said on my list. Hexagon. You guys probably are saying it already. Heartfelt. Heartfelt hexagon. Oh, and you can see my reflection. Hello. So the heartfelt hexagon punch, which is great for putting together these fun backgrounds that kind of connect together. But I want to tell you one thing. When you're making a card like this, the first pieces that you want to put on would be these 3. And you lay them down on your card first where you want them. The rest of them can fit in however. But you want to make sure that you've got the same kind of border on the right and left so that it looks balanced. And you want to have these connecting in a triangle that works. So you lay them down together, and then you connect these 2 to the paper first with straight adhesive. These 2 here can be met up like pretty much exactly with whatever size gap you want, but this gap will determine the rest of the gaps. So after you've put those down, then you can connect these. I made a mistake on the first card and I put these 2 together down first, and then I realized I had to shift this one up a little higher because when this one came in, it was just too low. So you have to position all 3 of them first. This is up on dimensionals. It's the only piece on dimensionals except for the ends of the leaves. So after I put this on dimensionals, I tucked the leaves in and around and just kind of put this top, oh, I forgot to take the backing off. Just kind of tucked the dimensionals up underneath. These are all flat, but the top part here is up on dimensionals. Okay? So I hope that gave you some more inspiration with the Hobby Haven suite. It's just an amazing suite of products. And it is being featured right now in our, and I'm going to pull that back up so you can see it. If you follow me either on my newsletters or my blog or whatever, you know that, I'm just going to go to the latest blog post and I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to make you guys dizzy if I take you on this trip with me. But you just close your eyes. Okay, so here we go. It's right down here. This is the promotion area. At the bottom of every blog post, it talks about all the things that are going on. So here we go. All-Star Video Class Bundle. It is the bundle that we are featuring this month, the month of December, in our All-Star group. So we've created, me and 11 other demonstrators from around the world, we've created unique exclusive projects that you can get inspired by and create with using the Hobby Haven products. Or if you don't have the Hobby Haven products, you can still get that tutorial and apply it to other products. But you can click here for more information. It'll take you to a blog post where I share more information about the bundle, how to get your hands on it, a peek at the card that I made, and the demonstrators that are involved. So you can earn it with a purchase. You can purchase it from me. Lots of goodness on the Hobby Haven right now this month. I'm peeking. Oh, there's one other thing I want to show you before we talk about any last news. So I'm going to bring you to my desktop for one last share, because this is something I forgot to do. Was it Wednesday? Yeah, it was Wednesday of last week. So last week of Wednesday, we introduced the product of the month, and I have the paper now in my hands, but the product of the month was released on Tuesday, and I didn't have it in my hands by Wednesday. So I took some ideas that were shared by this creative team of demonstrators, and one of the team members on that in that group, Lisa Stens, she created a zigzag fold card using this True Blue Florals designer paper, which is the product of the month. You can get it for a $75 order. You can get it for $5. So there's another thing you can do. Take advantage of the free shipping, then add this in for $5. Okay, so that's the True Blue Florals paper, and this is what she created. And so I took that idea and I applied it on Wednesday of last week in my video to this card. Did this one for you here using the perennial lavender paper. So now you have the instructions for how to make this kind of a fold using that video. And then I forgot, I had some extra pieces that were already prepared. I was going to show you a couple versions, because if you recall, I also shared these two cards in that video. This one was using the, this one here, that one. It was using this bundle for these two cards. And then I used the butterfly, beautiful butterflies bundle for this card. And I was going to show you another version with the beautiful butterflies. So here's my beautiful butterfly version. There you go. So that is now out there for you to see. Yay, I finally got that done. And this, I made the sentiment section in here this way instead of this way, because I knew that it would be harder to kind of see once the card was closed. It wasn't going, I mean, you could even shift it down further, but this one was a little bit trickier because you can see it's closer to the top. So when you close this card, you really have to be careful not to have that corner peek out. But on this one, you can see it's a lot lower, so it was easier to hide, especially behind the big butterfly wings. Thank you, Brenda. Charming Day. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you. Yes, Charming Day bundle, okay, which is on last chance now. And beautiful butterfly bundle, which is on last chance now. The perennial lavender paper is sticking around, and so is this paper because it's new, brushed with beauty. So you can go back to that video and check it out. But those are the cards I shared last Wednesday, plus that extra one. See, this is why I couldn't cancel today. Brenda and I were chatting earlier this morning, and she goes, if you're not feeling good, you should just cancel. I'm like, no, I have too much to share. But I am going to go, like, after I do my team live today, I'm going to take a nap. And I just want to give you the heads up. I do have a video planned for Friday night, because I go live on Wednesday mornings at 11 a.m. Central Time, and I go live Friday evenings, typically right now, around 7 p.m. Central Time, because I love to share and I love to teach. But even though I have the project planned, I have to see how I'm feeling tomorrow, okay? So just keep in tune with my calendar. My calendar is linked in the description of my video. So you can go to that Google Calendar, and if it's missing, if that event is missing, that means I cancel it. You can also follow me on Facebook. On Facebook, let's see here, where's my link for that? You can follow me on Facebook, and on my Facebook page, I do have a list of dates that are coming up on a pinned post that you can also refer to if the Google Calendar is too hard to see. All right, so I've shared a lot of promotional things during this video. So let me just go through and make sure. We talked about free shipping. That's today, tomorrow, and Friday. $75 order or more in the US. Product of the month, True Blue Florals. $5 with a $75 order. You only get one per month, by the way. So if you already took advantage of it, you can't get an extra one. Paper Pumpkin subscriber sale. Okay, if you're an active subscriber, you can get in on the add-ons, the refills, and the full kits that are up to 50% off. today through Friday. So also during that free shipping time, so you might as well add a lot more products so that you can get free shipping on that paper pumpkin order too. And then also know that the add-ons for the January through March kit will be available tomorrow. So you might want to wait till tomorrow so you can add that into your order. The All-Star Video Tutorial Bundle, that is available to anyone who purchases through me. If you place a $50 order in any month, you get that month's All-Star video, and that one is the Hobby Haven one. So I would email that to you in my thank you email. And you also get loyalty points. Check that out. Gosh, there's so much to share, you guys. I think I'm going to end with that because I could keep going. There's so much going on. I hope that you're having fun getting ready for your holiday season. We have our Christmas tree up, and we're now working on getting the last of our presents. We have a station set up in our island in our kitchen for wrapping presents this year because it's just the three of us. So like there's less stuff being piled on the island. Not to say that Luke was messy. He wasn't messy. It felt like this year I could put more stuff there. So we are doing our Christmas wrapping there. I hope you have your own systems in place for that too, because you kind of have to have something streamlined to make it work, right? And thank you for the well wishes. I'm feeling great as far as like my voice. I can talk. Only had to touch my nose a couple times for the runniness, but we'll see how we feel on Friday. I hope I can come back and share with you because I have a really great idea to share with you on Friday. In fact, I put in an order this morning, expedited it so that I could get it to tomorrow and share this idea with you. So I really hope that I can do that. And that's it. So we'll see you on Friday, December 12th, hopefully, Wednesday, December 17th, Friday, December 19th. And then with the upcoming weeks, I just want to tell you that I'm going to be shifting a few days. So again, look at that calendar. But I'm not going to share on Christmas Eve, or Christmas Eve day, which is the 24th. I'm going to share on Tuesday. Same thing with the following week and the following week, because my husband and my son and I are going to go fly out to visit Luke. So we have some Tuesdays coming up soon, just so you know. All right, that's it. Phew. Trisha, thank you so much for your help. I'm going to let you all go, and I appreciate you tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, give the thumbs up, to like, and comment if you're watching the after live. I love to see who's chiming in after the live is done too. Thank you, everybody. Now I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. Bye-bye.